This video is going to show you how to solve different types of equations. So, an equation is a piece of algebra with an equal sign in it. And unlike a lot of the other algebra questions that we've dealt with in maths, this one we're going to get a number answer out. In fact, we're trying to find out what the letter represents as a number. Okay, so there is a rule that I've got at the top here that we're going to live by for the whole of these questions, and that is, whatever you do to one side, do it to the other. Okay, so let's have a little look at some examples. Now, the first couple that I'm going to go through, what we call simple equations or two-step equations, because there are two steps to the method. Okay, so let's look at some examples. So whenever I start one of these solving equation questions, what I do to start with is I drop two lines down. Now this is going to help show my workings. Now my goal is to try and get x out on its own and find out what number it is. Now in order to do this, I need to do the opposite of all of the operations that are acting on x. So in this case, x is being times by 4. Then it's minus by 5. So the first thing I'm going to get rid of is the number on its own, which is that minus 5. And I'm going to do that by using its inverse, plus 5. Now if I plus 5 to the left-hand side, I'm going to end up with 4x on its own, because a minus 5 and a plus 5 cancels each other out. But whatever I do to one side, I've got to do it to the other, so I'm going to plus 5 to the other side. And 7 plus 5 is 12. Okay, so the next step here, I need to get rid of this times by 4. And the inverse of timesing by 4 is to divide by 4. So dividing the left-hand side by 4 ends up with just an x, which is what I'm looking for. Remember, whatever I do to the left-hand side, I've got to also do to the right-hand side. So now I've also got to divide the right-hand side by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So I've got my answer out, x equals 3. Okay, so let's look at this second example. Okay, in this case, again, I'm going to start by dropping my two lines down. And I'm going to undo all of the different operations that are acting on x here. So in this case, x is firstly being divided by 4, and then it is being added to 3. So, first off, I'm going to get rid of this 3 that's on its own. It's going to do that by taking away 3. Take away 3 to the left-hand side, ends up with just this x divided by 4. But remember, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to minus 3 to this side as well. 1 take away 3 is minus 2. Now the next step, I need to get rid of this divide by 4. And the inverse of dividing by 4 is timesing by 4. So if I times the left-hand side by 4, I get x. But remember, whatever I do to the left-hand side, I also have to do to the right-hand side. Minus 2 times by 4 is minus 8. And again, I've got my answer out. X must equal minus 8. Now, one of the good things about these equation questions is that there's a really nice little check that you can do. So we've got this value of x. So in the first question, it was 3. Now, how can we check that this is right? Well, all we do is we substitute our x for 3. So in this case here, we've got 4 times 3 minus 5. And if we've got it right, it should equal 7. So doing that quickly in our heads, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 take away 5 is 7. So I know I've got that right. In the second example, I've got x equaling minus 8. So, again, I'm going to substitute it into my equation on the left-hand side. So I've got minus 8 divided by 4, then add 3. So minus 8 divided by 4 is minus 2. Add 3 gives me 1, which again tells me that I must have it right. Okay, I've got some practice questions for you to have a go at down the bottom. Okay, pause the video, have a go at them, and then I'll run through some solutions to them in a moment. Okay, so the first question, all right, drop the two lines down. First off, we're going to minus 5 to both sides, 3x equals 21. Then we're going to divide both sides by 3. We get the answer x equals 7. Checking, 3 times 7 is 21, plus 5 is 26. So I know I've got that right. Okay, the next one again, drop the 2 lines down. First off, I'm going to take away 5 from both sides. So I get x divided by 3 equals, remember I've got to do it to this side as well, 6. To get rid of the divide by 3, times by 3, x equals 18. Again, we're just going to check this. All right, so 18 divided by 3 is 6, plus 5 is 11. That is also right. Okay, last one. Going to drop the lines down again, minus 20 to both sides. So that gives me 4x on the left-hand side. 8 minus 20 is minus 12. Divide by 4. I've got x equals minus 3. Again, I'm going to check. 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. Minus 12 plus 20 is 8. So again, I know that I've got that one right. So hopefully you also did get them right, okay, and you didn't get confused by these minus numbers. Okay, so the second type of equation they could give you is one that has brackets. Now, in a separate video, I have covered expanding brackets, and in these sorts of equations, the only trick to this one is to expand the brackets first. After we've expanded the brackets, you'll see that we get an equation just like the simple ones before. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Number 1, okay, the first step is to expand the brackets. So that is 6 times x, 6x. 6 times minus 5 is minus 30, and that equals 18. Now I've got to my simple equation, drop my lines down, plus 30 to both sides. Doing that, I have 6x on this left-hand side, do exactly the same thing to the other side, and I get 48. Divide both sides by 6. I end up with x on the one side, and I end up with 8 on the right side. Okay, let's quickly check that. Okay, so firstly, remember I've got to do the brackets first. So I've got 8 minus 5 is 3. Then I times by 6, so 6 times 3 is 18. So I know I've got that right. So the next one, expand the brackets first. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times minus 5 is minus 15, equals 5. Drop the 2 lines down. Add 15 to both sides. Gives me 6x on the left and 20 on the right. Now, the next step I'm going to divide by 6. And that is fine for this first step because I get x on this side. But if you notice now, 20 doesn't divide by 6. So what are we going to do here? Well, actually this becomes easier than the normal question because all I'm going to write here is 20 divided by 6 written as a fraction. So I haven't actually had to do any dividing at all. I've just put one number over the other. Only one thing to do, if we are writing something as a fraction, we need to simplify it. And hopefully you can spot that they're both in the 2 times table, so I can simplify this to 10 over 3. Okay, so when I have a fraction, it's going to be a little bit trickier to check. So you can do this if you take it one little bit at a time. Now, first off, remember I've got to do the brackets first. So I've got 2 lots of 10 over 3, which equals 20 over 3. Now I've got to do 20 over 3, take 5. Now if you remember, 5 is going to be the same thing as 15 over 3, which leaves me with 5 over 3. And finally, I've got to do 3 times 5 over 3. The 3's cancel out, and I get 5. So 5 is the same as the number up here, so I know I've got it right. Okay, so there's a couple of practice questions down the bottom. Some do have fraction answers, so you can have a little practice of that. Okay, give them a go. Okay, so for question A, expanding the brackets, I get 3x minus 9 equaling 15. Drop my 2 lines down, plus 9 to both sides. I get 3x equals 24. Divide by 3 to both sides. I end up with x equaling 8. Just to double check, 8 minus 3 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15, so that works. Okay, so for the next one, again, expand the brackets first. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times minus 7 is minus 14, equals 52. Drop my 2 lines down. Add 14 to both sides first. It gives me 6x equaling 66. Divide by 6. X equals 11. Again, let's just practice checking this. 3 times 11 is 33. Take away 7 is 26. 26 times 2 is 52. So I know I've got that one right. Right, so the next one. 4 times 5x is 20x. 4 times 20 is 80, equaling 88. Put your 2 lines down. Minus 80 from both sides. Leaves me with 20x equaling 8. Divide by 20. Leaves me with x equaling 8 over 20. Now both of those are in the 4 times table, so I can divide both by 4 and I get 2 over 5 or 2/5. So checking this, 5 lots of 2/5 is 2. 2 plus 20 is 22. 4 times 22 is 88. So again, I've got that right. Okay, so the last type of equation that we're going to look at in this video are equations where you have unknowns or letters on both sides of the equal sign. Okay, so again, I've got a little rule for you to use to solve these sorts of equations, and that is to get all the numbers on one side and get all the letters on the other. Now, this is also another point because in most mark schemes, this actually gives you a mark. Okay, so you don't even need to get all the way through to the answer to pick up a method mark as long as you get all the numbers on one side and all the letters on the other. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's look at this first equation. So again, I'm going to drop my lines down to begin with. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm trying to get all of my number terms, so that would be my minus 2 and my plus 18 on one side of my equation. Now, usually we've had the numbers on the right. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to continue with that format. So I'm going to try and move this minus 2 over to the right-hand side. And so to eliminate this minus 2, I've got to add 2. Add 2 to both sides gives me 9x on this side. I've still got the 4x on this side. It doesn't get affected, but this 18 now becomes 20 because I've added 2 to it. Right, so I've got all the numbers on one side. Now I want to try and get all the letters on the other side. So that means removing that 4x from that right-hand side. Now, what we're going to do here is exactly the same thing as how we do with numbers. We're going to take it away if it's a positive, and if it's a negative, we're going to add it. So in this case, 4x is a positive value, so we're going to take away 4x. Remember, whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So 9x take away 4x is 5x. 4x take away 4x cancels each other out, so we end up with 5x equaling 20. Now all I need to do is divide both sides by 5, just like I've done in the other equation so far. I end up with x equaling 4. So again, I can check this, but this time I'm going to have to do some workings out for both sides of these equations. So first off, 9 times 4 is 36, minus 2 is 34. I want to just write that down. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 18 is also 34. So again, the left-hand side equals the right-hand side, so I know I've got that right. Now, you could have a question like this, which is basically incorporating all of the things we've done before. So this has not only got x on both sides, but brackets as well. So what we're going to do here is, just like we did in the last section, expand the brackets out first. So 3 times 9x is 27x. 3 times minus 5 is minus 15. And now on the right hand side, 5 times x is 5x. 5 times minus 4 is minus 20. So now I've got an equation just like my last example. So I can drop my two lines, and this is where I'm going to try and get all the numbers on one side and all the letters on the other. So I'm starting off, I'm going to try and get all my numbers on the right hand side. So that means I want to try and eliminate this minus 15. So to eliminate a minus 15, I've got to add 15. Remember, adding 15 to one side means I've got to add it to the other. So I end up with 27x on the one side, and then I've got a 5x which doesn't change. Minus 20 plus 15 is minus 5. And now I've got all my numbers on one side, I want to get all my letters on the other. So I want to eliminate this 5x, and this 5x is still positive because that minus is actually attached to the 5, not to the 5x. So I'm going to take away 5x. Take away 5x from both sides. So that gives me 22x on this side, minus 5 on the other. And I'm going to finish up just like I've done before. Divide by 22. And x equals, as a fraction, minus 5 over 22. No simplifying needed there. Okay, you can try checking this, but as the answers get harder and harder in fractions, it's probably going to take a little bit too long for you to actually check it. Okay, so again, I've got some practice questions down the bottom. Give those a go and see how you do. Okay, so let's go through these. Drop your lines down for this one. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And I get 9x on the left, 4x plus 45. I'm going to take away 4x from both sides. Gives me 5x equaling 45. Divide by 5. X equals 9. Just checking this one. 9 times 9 is 81. Take away 5 is 76. 4 times 9 is 36. Add 40 is also 76. So I know that I've got that one right. So B, again, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Drop my lines down. First, I'm going to get all my numbers over to that right-hand side. So I'm going to minus 7. 3x equals 11 minus 7 is 4 minus 5x. Now in this case, you notice I've got a minus 5x that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to do the opposite of minusing 5x. I'm going to add 5x. So adding 5x to both sides means that I get 8x over this left-hand side. With minus 5x and the 5x cancel, and I get 4. Now dividing by 8 gives me my answer, x equals 4 over 8, which hopefully you've simplified to 1/2. So let's check this up here. 3 lots of 1/2 is 1.5 plus 7 is 8.5, written as a decimal 8.5. 5 times 1/2 is going to be 2.5. So I've got 11 minus 2.5, which is also 8.5. So again, that is correct. Right, so the last one, expand the brackets first. 4 times 5x is 20x, plus 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 6x is 18x. 3 times 7 is 21. Drop your lines down. Get rid of the 12 from the left-hand side. 20x equals 18x. 21 minus 12 is 9. Eliminate the 18x from the left-hand side, minus 18x. So I get 2x equals 9. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 9 over 2. Excellent. So hopefully that video has helped you to solve those different types of equations. So we have the simple equations, equations with brackets, equations with unknowns on both sides, and even brackets and unknowns on both sides. Okay, have a go at some exam questions, keep practicing this, and especially have a little look at the forming and solving equations video as well. Good luck.